What's happening, everybody? Hopefully your Sunday is off to an amazing start and your weekend is going just phenomenally so far. Real fast video. Just going to talk over the main slate for DraftKings this week on the NFL. Obviously, we're a couple games into the season, or a couple games into the week already. Hopefully, you guys, for a bunch of you, are probably in your fantasy playoffs and well. Hopefully, they're going well, and you're not stuck in the same position I am, where you had to play against Travis Kelce. So, that all being said, guys, let's jump into this week's picks and wish you guys all the best of luck today. All right, so we're going to start with the quarterback position, and we're going to go with the cover boy today, which is Kyler Murray. So let's talk about cash games right here. Cash lock for me. He's very affordable. No, maybe he's not affordable. What I meant to say was there's a bunch of other guys on this slate who are very affordable that make him easy to pay up for. We know Detroit's not very good. This is a dome game, which at this point of the year, fast track like this, Kyler Murray, the legs and everything that goes into it, seems like a pretty good play. I mean, he's got huge ownership projections coming in this morning, which means he's going to be real chalky. I think in cash games, this is a safe play. And if you like him, just run him in GPPs too. For me, he'll definitely be in my cash game roster. And then in the 3 GPPs I run, he'll probably only make one of them. I'll probably take some chances on some other quarterbacks in GPPs. Maybe James Conner runs a couple balls in or something like that. He doesn't get monster points. But I think in cash games, this is a good place to start your lineups at the quarterback perspective. And again, can't hate a dome game once we're into December like this. All right, next up, let's talk about James Robinson. So another guy coming in with a lot of ownership today. And I think this is partly a byproduct of just how weak the running back position is. It wasn't a strong week for running back to start, and then throw in the postponements or the delayed games, the injuries and everything that goes along with it. It's a very weak week at running back. Robinson is projected to be chalk. And this is a guy who has not had a ton of great games lately, and it's a byproduct of a few things. But with Urban Meyer out, I expect the Jags to play up today. There's a long history of teams in spots like this where they fire a head coach who's not really liked within the locker room, and the team plays really well. Trevor Lawrence, who's obviously a big-time future for this franchise, has been lobbying for Robinson to spend more time on the field. So I assume he's going to get a ton of touches today. And even though the Jaguars are terrible, the Texans might actually be worse. So it's a battle of a really bad team. So I think I used Robinson big week 1, and he was a total dud as Urban Meyer went with more Carlos Hyde, which, even he figured out was a mistake. But I think Robinson makes a lot of sense, especially in the cash game format where he's going to be highly, highly owned. Next up, let's talk about Aaron Jones and my Green Bay Packers. So this is deeper GPP only. Obviously, we've seen a shift, and I've been calling and asking for this shift for a while, which is to see A.J. Dillon get the ball a little bit more. And this time of the year, A.J. Dillon is built for, late season playoff run type of football, which makes me wonder, Jones is another week healthier. He still has a nose for the end zone. He's under 7K. He's inviolable in both the passing and the running game. I do know that he's got a game coming. I wouldn't like to say that he's a lock for it to be today. But knowing that running back is real weak, and we probably don't love a lot of the plays that we're going to make, it's an interesting week to take a chance on him in deeper GPPs because he is still very capable of scoring twice and giving you 100 total yards, potentially 5+ receptions as well. There is no Randall Cobb. So, again, more likely, and especially if Valdez-Scantling doesn't play or something like that, more likely to get him highly utilized in the passing game. He's currently coming in with like sub 5% ownership projection. And at 6,600, this is still a guy who could rattle off a 30-point game at any point. So I like it in deeper GPPs. Next up, let's talk about Devante Parker. This is a keep it simple, stupid play if there ever was one. No Waddle, huge chalk, great matchup, way too cheap. He's actually good. This is a tough fade. This is a cash lock, and this is a tough fade in GPPs for me. For me, this is good chalk. This is the kind of guy that I struggle, barring injury and things like that, to see him come in with, less than 7 or 8 points, which is not good off of 4,300, but it's like a floor. Man, this is a pretty safe play in my opinion. This is the kind of chalk I might just eat in GPPs today. Huge ownership, so hoping that he, isn't great and you can do better. Definitely intriguing for the GPP fade, but cash lock. And for me, I'll probably play in 2 of 3 GPPs, if not all of them. So that's how I'm looking at him. And he's going to be really, really popular today. Next up, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. This is another one. I want to talk about defense today because if you're playing cash games, And, we've heard us discuss over the years defenses being random. Buffalo's a great play on paper, any format, right? Carolina's offense has been struggling for a while now. They're on the road against, a Buffalo team that needs a dub. They're going to be hugely popular. You absolutely lock them into your cash games. But from a GPP perspective, it's a little bit of a risky fade because they're going to be highly owned, but you need a defense to go off to be a bad fade. So the idea of going with say a Miami or something like that in GPPs, totally plausible in my eyes. So Buffalo's a cash game lock, very viable in GPPs. It's possible you might want to just eat the chalk here. I will definitely use them in cash and probably, 1 of 3 or 2 to 3 GPPs is the way I see it. So that's what I got for today, folks. Thank you very much, and see you guys later.